Hello and welcome to this learning session on the SPA2 configuration software. In this learning session we're talking about the SPA2, the temperature input version, the TPRG model. And today we're going to be discussing the display tab in the configuration software. And we're kind of going to do something a little different this time, in that we're going to talk about the display tab as well as the scaling tab, because as you'll see, sometimes they go hand in hand into what they do. But first, let's take a look. My SPA2 is currently running. It is a temperature input. We talked about this in an earlier session. The status is okay. And down here, my process variable is being read. It's, as you can see, 22.2 degrees Celsius. It's measuring the temperature in my lab here. So before we go on to do anything with these tabs, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop the monitoring of the temperature, so that if I can make any changes here. You cannot make changes if the software is monitoring the action of SPA2. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have on the display tab, what's available to us here. This is talking about the display on the face of the SPA2. Right now it is displaying my process variable, which is my temperature here. The selections you have the output current or voltage, depending on how you have analog output configured. If you don't have analog output, you won't see this option here. And thirdly, down here we have the secondary variable, which in this case is the RJC, the reference junction compensation. Okay, we'll leave it at process variable for right now. We also have available to us the ability to toggle the display, so you can show the process variable, by example, and then as a secondary, you can show the second variable, the RJC in this case, or you can show the output current if you have analog output available to you. So the display will show like 22 degrees Celsius, and then it'll toggle over and say the analog output would be 6 milliamps or whatever is appropriate there. Okay, we'll jump down here for a second. Here you can define how many decimal places you want to display, or you can leave it on auto. When it's on auto, it uses the maximum number of digits for the display, and then it'll move the decimal place accordingly. Okay. The custom label, and we'll get to that in a second because we're going to talk about scaling. So, hang on, let me just turn this off. And down on the bottom here, you have a quick set. Anytime you change anything on this page, you can hit the quick set at the bottom, and that'll send those changes down to the instrument. However, if you go off and you do changes in alarms or any other page, the quick set that you push here will not download those changes on the other page, only this page right here. I haven't made any changes right now, so we'll just leave that alone. But let's go to the scaling for a second, because we want to talk a little bit about custom label. Right now, as you can see, I'm showing 22.210 degrees Celsius. That is appropriate for the measurement I'm taking. So I'm just going to leave that alone. I would not use a custom label. However, if I decide I want to use scaling, we'll go over here to scaling. I can see my range here is -180 to 760. Now let's say I wanted to scale that, and I wanted to read 0 to 100% in this case. Depending on my application, that might be appropriate. So let's hit the quick set, so we'll make that change work. And then we'll go back to display. Now I want to use a custom label. So I'm running now 0 to 100%. So I'll clear this field here, and I'll type in an abbreviation for %. And I will hit the quick set. So we'll send that down. And now I'll start my instrument monitoring the temperature, and you'll see over here now the display has changed from 21 or whatever it was degrees Celsius. Now it's at 22.225%. So that might be appropriate for your application, and that's available to you on the SPA2. So we'll hit the stop button now. And there you go. There you have it, the display and kind of the scaling tab all tied together here. Hope that was informative for you, and hope to see you soon in other learning sessions. We will be covering the alarms, analog output, and custom curve functionality. Thank you for listening.